They say 500,000 people watch the Boston Marathon here in New England.
Hey, you behaving yourself?
How's it going, everybody? Today I'm reviewing the new film directed by Peter Berg and again starring Mark Wahlberg in the lead role, their third team-up, Patriots Day. Now, the movie kind of shows the lead-up, the day of, and the aftermath of the Boston Marathon bombing, and just a hunt for these two brothers on the coming days afterwards. And this is a very touchy subject, and I understand people's hesitation in seeing this one. I totally understand if you don't even want any interest in seeing this thing, because it is such. It's only been like 3 years since this happened, 3 to 4 years. So I totally get that. I'm on the side of I think we should show these stories because I believe it sheds a light on the heroes of it, and it doesn't necessarily glorify terrorism and all that stuff. But with all that said, really enjoyed this one. Really enjoyed it. Potentially equal to at least Deepwater Horizon, if not maybe a little bit more. It's tough to say. So like I said, the movie does star Mark Wahlberg, Michelle Monaghan, J.K. Simmons, John Goodman, Kevin Bacon, and a few others. A very ensemble cast. I think this one more than Deepwater Horizon. It kind of spreads out the love a little bit. It's not solely focused. Like in Deepwater Horizon, you had Mark Wahlberg as the main character with some other side characters like Kurt Russell. I think in this one, Mark Wahlberg is the main character, and you're seeing a lot of it through his eyes, but you're also seeing the story through a lot of other people's eyes, including the two people who did the bombing themselves. Now, the movie kind of starts off in the very realistic, just everyday type thing situation, and that's kind of what it was. And you know the events coming, and they do a great job of kind of, because as an audience member, you know what's going to happen in this one. You know exactly what's happening. So Peter Berg, knowing that, you slowly feel the intensity as the race begins to start and everything progresses. You get to feel that intensity ratchet up with the music and everything like that. And when the event does happen, it is horrific. It is awful to watch, honestly. It's hard to look at, and I understand, again, people, if they don't want to see that, and they're like, I don't want to see any of that, especially because they do, not necessarily for the bombing and everything, but throughout the movie, they use real security cam footage, which just, I don't think, if you didn't know it, you probably they made it look like a security cam footage, but they actually use the real stuff, which is fascinating, and they integrate it pretty much seamlessly. There's also some parts in the movie that I didn't even know were part of the story, so for me, coming from a Canadian in Vancouver here, I don't necessarily know, I followed on the news a little bit, but I didn't know the details of it and what they actually had to do to get these guys, and it's crazy, some of the stuff that happened. But like I said, it's a very powerful movie, and really what it comes down to is all these other factions and just casual people coming together to help save the day type thing, and that's kind of why I don't find this as a it's cash grab type movie. I think it's a powerful story that needs to be told, and Peter Berg is great at telling these true story events. And like I said, one of my favorite parts of the thing was how they jumped around. You got to see Kevin Bacon and the lead of the FBI pair up with the Boston Police and John Goodman. You got to see another police faction in Watertown with J.K. Simmons and how his kind of story weaves together. There's some other characters in there that I didn't even know, like I said, were part of this thing, and as you're watching it, I'm like, I don't understand how this flows together. This is weird. You're seeing some guy go on a date with a girl, and I don't know how this links up to everything, but it does, and it pays off in spades. It's a very powerful story, and just how they weave together all these storylines seamlessly is a feat on its own. There's not much more to say other than the performances are great across the board. You kind of get a little insight into why these two brothers kind of did it and their thought process through it, and how one brother is a little bit hesitant, especially at the very beginning. And you get to see every aspect of it, and how, like I said, people can come together. And by the end of the movie, they show some real life footage and some interviews with some of the people that were involved in it. You get to see also some of the victims of it that had some tragic things happen to them. Like I said, powerful movie, very powerful. I could definitely see people shedding tears at it. I necessarily didn't, but again, if you're interested in it remotely and you're like, I don't know, I'm on the fence of it, I'd say go check this one out. So with all that said, I give Patriots Day a movie rating of an 8.5 out of 10 as a solid movie. Definitely check it out. I could see some people, like I said, not liking it because of the way some things play out, and maybe you don't want to see the insight onto the terrorism side of everything. But as for my enjoyment rating, I'm going to give it a 9.5 out of 10 because, again, it's probably one of my favorites of the year. It's very similar in a sense to Deepwater Horizon, which I loved. So that's why it gets a 9.5 for enjoyment rating. I think I enjoyed it more than probably the movie actually is, like I said, for the movie rating, enjoyment rating thing. But again, Peter Berg is a champion at these things. Forget about Battleship. We don't need to remember that anymore. You got Lone Survivor. Deepwater Horizon, now Patriots Day. He's 3 for 3 with Mark Wahlberg, in my opinion. So let me know if you're looking forward to Patriots Day in the comment section below. Again, be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more videos each and every week. That is it, and I will talk to y'all later.